What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. This is the Pixel Watch, and this is actually the LTE version. I don't have it set up as LTE because I don't want to pay my carrier any money towards using this watch, but ultimately this is the LTE version, so I could use it that way. I just don't use it as the Bluetooth Wi-Fi version. So the button on the side, if you press it, brings up your apps, and you can scroll with it as well. The other thing you can do is you can double press it and it will bring up your ability to use Google Pay, which is cool. You can choose your card that you have in here, just tap on it, and then when you use it, obviously it'll be on your wrist, you just press and push the screen towards the reader so that it will do the payment. You also have this button right here on the side. So if you press that button right there, it's going to bring up all your recent apps so you can quickly go to them. Very, very helpful. I appreciate that very, very much. I think that's a great little feature. This is my watch face, obviously. When I swipe left or right, it basically brings me through the same stuff and just kind of like circles through. But basically I have, and you can change these, and I'll show you in a minute on the app how to change them. But I have a couple of things in here. You can see I only slept 5 hours and 7 minutes. My wife woke me up to charge the car in the middle of the night. That's my current heart rate, even because it's getting it from my fingers. Probably not super accurate. 128 beats per minute when I was walking. How many steps I've taken thus far. And again, it just kind of cycles through all of that. You can change these, like I said. Swiping up will bring up your notifications, which is very, very easy and helpful. I can tap on the notification and see what it was. I can clear it. I can swipe to the left, to the right to go back or to remove that notification. So if you're in something, let's just bring up an app real quick. So I'll bring up alarm, for instance. So to go home, I can either just press this button to go home, or I can swipe left to right to go back on here. So very easy to use. Swiping down from the top brings up your quick toggles, and there's a lot of quick toggle stuff in here. Some of the ones that I use the most on a daily basis are, I put it to bed, so I tap that and that starts my bedtime mode. So basically doesn't bother me while I'm sleeping, which is very, very nice to have that. Turn it off right there. Bedtime mode is off. I go into settings quite a bit to look through the things if I need to. Not a lot, but enough to where you would. And we'll go through that in just a moment. But ultimately, I'm not in there too much. So you can see everything I'm doing is very fluid. No issues at all in terms of responsiveness. It's very, 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 very responsive. I love that. Let's go into settings real quick just to show you some of the things that you can change in here. So connectivity is where you're going to turn on and off Bluetooth. Wi-Fi is if you want to connect to a Wi-Fi network. Mobile, if you have the LTE version, you'll see that and you can connect to a mobile network. NFC for your payments and things like that. Airplane mode if you're on an airplane. Display, if you want to change your watch face. I like changing it from the phone. It's a little bit easier. Adjust the brightness right here. I have it on a pretty low brightness right now, but you can see it's very, very readable. It's almost too bright still for my camera. Sunlight boost, that should be on by default, but basically that boosts the screen brightness in direct sunlight. And this is really easy to see in direct sunlight. I like to run this at 30 seconds. I think that's the perfect amount of time for that. Always on screen, meaning the screen's always on. I don't do it, and the reason I don't do it is because why do I need my screen to always be on if I'm not looking at it? When I pull it up to my wrist, like, when I twist my wrist towards my face, that's when I can see it, and it comes up perfectly fine and really quick, and I'll show you that in just a moment as well. You can set your wrist orientation. I do wear it on my left. You have your gestures, tilt to wake, which I was just talking about, and touch to wake. Those are on by default. Touch lock. Touch and hold watch face to change. Apps and notifications. You can turn on notifications and some for all, or disable. You can go through all that stuff. Sounds. You can come in here and adjust the volumes for your media volumes and all that stuff. Vibration. How much battery life you have left. You see, I got 55%. Your general settings, you can show unread notification dots, auto launch media controls. So like if you play a song or video or something, it'll pop up with controls on your watch so you can control that. Health profile, location, safety and emergency. So this has that part where, it'll, if you fall or whatever, it'll call somebody. And here's your system. This is where you can come into system updates and see if you have a system update. I'm on the latest version. Restart your watch, all that stuff. And again, like I was saying earlier, when you press and hold this, oh, did it just, no, it didn't do it. Let's just see, I'll press and hold it. Let's see if it will turn off. There you go. So you can press and hold it and do your emergency SOS or restart your watch or power it off. The way I have it set up, and you can change, there's tons of customizations you can do with the watch screen, but ultimately I have my steps, the weather, and my Google Assistant. And that's nice. One of the cool things on here is it has the Google Assistant app. I think it's pre-installed. At least I had it installed. Maybe it's because it pulled over from my watch, but you know, I can come into my office and I'm like, you know what, open my office and I can change the lights and all that stuff or turn them off, or just come in here and control my stuff. So it's very, very cool and helpful. So real quick, this is what it looks like on my wrist. It's 41 millimeters, so it's not like the biggest screen, but I can see it perfectly fine. I have no problems with it. I made the font basically as large as it can be because my eyesight's not the best, but it's fine. You know, it's kind of small, but I absolutely love the size of everything. And then I did want to walk you through the app real quick. Basically, if you want to change your watch faces, you can come in here. You can edit the current one you have if you want. And when you do that, it'll come up in just a moment. You can change the colors if you want. You're like, oh, you know, I want it to be blue or whatever. And then you can change these complications as well. So like this one is for steps. If I wanted to change that, I can change it to battery or to something else. So you can come in here and change all of these if you want. It's very simple to change those things. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to disregard that. You can also add new. So you have all these different watch faces to choose from that you can edit, change the colors, add complications to if it allows you. Classic, I don't like these watches. They're too hard to read, right? This one's kind of cool. These concentric ones, basically it shows you the time, and then you can add different complications. Like this one has a couple of complications in there. Same thing with the dials, everyday, index, ink. You can do a photos one if you want to put photos of something. If you're a, I guess, pilot, put bold. And so there's all kinds of stuff you can do in here and all kinds of watch faces that you can get through the app. You also can change the tiles. That's what's right here. So all this stuff, you can change those. You can rearrange them if you want. If you rearrange, just pull them like that. Hit the trash can if you don't want it. Or if you want to add one, just hit add tile. And you have all these different ones that you can go and add to. Notifications, you can, so almost all the stuff you can do on the watch, basically you can do on here too. So it's, if you don't want to look on your watch because maybe the screen's too small or you're just like looking at it from your phone, you can do all that stuff from here, which is really, really nice. Let's do that. 30, I thought I had it on 30 seconds. Guess I didn't. General. So it's nice to be able to just come in here and run through all that stuff. Set up your mobile network, accessibility system. So that is a walkthrough of the new Pixel Watch. Tell me your thoughts on it in the comments down below. I absolutely love it. Probably saw my review. If you haven't, I'll link it down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road.